You offer a valuable service and you want to charge a higher price for it, but if you want to put a premium price tag on your offers, there's really only one thing standing in your way. Your website looks cheap. In this video, I'm going to get to the bottom of the biggest difference makers between websites that look and feel high-end versus low rent, because here's the thing. Even if you're not on the high end of your industry price-wise, the things that can make a site look cheap just so happen to be the same things that can make it feel untrustworthy too. So this stuff actually applies to you in either case. We'll go over the most common elements that business owners get wrong and what to do instead so your website can go from this to more like this, or this. And if you think a simple high-end marketing makeover can't influence how people think of your business, let's jump back to the Bronx in the early 60s. Ruben and Rose Mattis were trying to get their little ice cream startup off the ground, but with every other ice cream brand vying for freezer space and competing on price, Rose and Ruben decided they'd actually go the opposite direction. Up, as in let's be the most expensive ice cream out there. See, back in those days, a pint cost less than 15 cents, but they were gonna charge 75. And they were of course planning to use nothing but the best ingredients, so the quality would be there. But how would they communicate that quality before someone had the chance to taste it? The marketing strategy was simple. They'd brand their ice cream as something exotic with old world European sophistication. And just like that, Häagen-Dazs was born. Not here, here.
Serenity now!
All it took was a little marketing magic to have people screaming for their ice cream, even when they were charging 5 times what everyone else was. So how can you apply a similar strategy to your website? Well, one of my web business besties, Nicole, lives and breathes luxury web design, so I decided to give her a call.
Hi there, thank you for having me. My name is Nicole Heimer. I am the owner and creative director of Glorian Brand, and we design and build websites specifically for interior design firms.
So what do businesses need above and beyond normal websites when you're in that more luxury niche or higher price point?
So anytime that someone is going to hand over any money to anyone, they have to trust them, but we are talking about really big ticket items here. You know, an interior design project, no matter what the business model, it is a luxury service. It is not necessary like water or food or shelter itself. So the trust factor, the credibility factor is really important. And the design has to be tight. And what that means in practice is actually things like lots of white space, and making sure that everything is designed on a perfect grid. If things are a little off, if the website looks homemade at all, if it's off kilter or something is a little bit messy, it's just going to feel unsatisfying to the human brain, and it won't feel luxurious and it won't feel trustworthy, and it feels just a little bit cheap, which doesn't align with the product that they're buying.
And research backs Nicole up here. One recent study analyzed the user reactions to the design of 78 different websites, and they found that a few elements were consistent in creating that elevated perception of prestige, including lots of white space, like Nicole mentioned, and they also found that color plays a really big part in how high-end your website comes across. Specifically, more subdued color palettes tend to read as more premium and expensive than really bright ones.
So you want to be careful because we don't want to be really redoing our website or our brand every 5 seconds. So going neutral and sticking with black and whites is actually like the best way to go. Navy is also nice. You just want to go like super classic. If you want to go with those brighter colors, be prepared to put some work in and to like making it work. You're going to need a more skilled designer on your side to like, you know, keep it tight and make it fit.
Tim, calm down.
I see a problem.
And the reason you want to keep it tight has to do with a little something called the halo effect. So it's a simple psychological principle that says that one trait influences how you feel about other unrelated traits. So when your prospects see how tight and together your website is, they'll apply the halo effect to it and start to assume that other parts of your business are equally as tight and together. Things like the quality of your service. And when they think your quality is better than the next guy, they'll be happy to pay more for it. So what else should you really pay attention to if you want your website to really feel more high end.
Photography is incredibly important. It has to be well lit. You probably can't take the photos yourself. Unfortunately, you really need to get a professional involved. I always say, if you have to prioritize getting a professionally made website, paying someone to build it for you, or getting professional photography done, always prioritize the photography. Always.
Yes, I completely agree with that. But what if someone can't really afford to hire a photographer? How do you feel about using stock photos?
I have found, surprisingly, that I know this is crazy, but some of the free stock sites, we've had better luck than some of the paid stock sites. So like unsplash.com is a really good free stock site. Like we find great stuff on there all the time. And then if you're going to pay for it, like iStock is very good, but check the free ones first because you can find some really good stuff.
So let's go over some general rules when it comes to choosing stock images that will sell you in the right light. So first of all, always go with natural facial expressions and body language over things like sky reaching, fist pumping, and literally jumping for joy, because contrary to what these photos might have you believe, nobody reacts this way in real life.
We've actually saved you $300 this month.
This is good.
Hello?
This is normal.
But it wasn't.
Also, make sure that your image choices have a really consistent look and feel from one to the next. So don't put a really bright, colorful photo right next to a dark and moody one. And always get images that are the right size. I see so many otherwise great looking websites that choose a photo that's too small and it ends up really pixelated and blurry. Not a great look. Obviously, higher priced businesses are going to have a longer sales cycle for people to make up their minds, so it makes sense to really warm people up over time. So what are some really good lead magnet types that people can offer on their website that you've personally seen some success with lately?
Before we get into examples of lead magnets, I'm going to tell you about a client that I met with the other day who told me that she had a woman reach out to her about a project who has been on her email list since 1997. So, point being, yes, people can stick around on your email list for 3 months, a year, 2 years, 3 weeks before they actually get in touch with you. So it's a great, when you've got these big ticket services, like email it's always good, but it's especially good for that. We've been creating lead magnets for over 10 years, and it's for a few years now, it's been interactive stuff is the thing that works. So in our case, this would be style quizzes, things that are kind of like style quizzes where people pick something and then we send them something custom based on their selection. Calculators can work really, really well for driving traffic to your website, and then also for gathering email lists. We've done that for ballpark pricing for a contractor. Fill out this, information and we'll send you a ballpark quote automated. That kind of stuff is going to be your best bet.
So I asked Nicole about any specific results that she wanted to share, and she had to dig into her numbers a little bit, but she did email me back the next day about a client that she created a lead magnet quiz for that was able to quadruple their leads from 666 to 3,852 in less than a year. And that is really the secret to building your runway of high ticket clients. But most lead magnets do a pretty terrible job at getting qualified prospects to sign up for it. So I made this video, which is going to show you some of the most common mistakes that real businesses make all the time with their lead magnets and how I'd personally fix each one. So click right here and you'll be well on your way to getting more clients at higher prices. I'll see you there.